Oh, see, my face is there, so it probably means it's going to work.
Okay.
Is that what that means?
And we are online. Online.
Let me find us.
Maybe not for this thing. I don't know what. This thing will turn that off. We can't put that thing on.
Oh, there we are.
Is it picture my bum?
No bum.
No bum pictures.
No, let's not talk about bums, okay?
All right.
Too many goddamn bums in this room. All right, guys. Ooh, that sounded awesome.
Was that spicy?
No.
Oh,
very
all right.
sweet and nice.
It smells like
It's like
flowers.
popcorn.
Like popcorn.
Gee, you smell all nice and flowery.
Oh my God.
No, don't. See, I'm fighting the urge. I'm fighting the urge, and you're like,
Chris? Not Chris Thunderwolf Dodson. I'm just doing the guy from the family of the.
We know what you're doing.
oh, he knows what he's doing.
Well, thank you, because I have no idea what I'm doing. If somebody in the room knows what I'm doing, there's an improvement in the
That's a positive.
situation. That is definitely a positive. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I apologize for the weirdness of the.
Sorry.
But
You're
it might-
apologizing for the
We're
weirdness.
sorry.
See, I did not put a Facebook event up for this, so technically I can't be held accountable for any actual
Oh, is that
start
how that
time.
works? Brilliant.
I must have
You're
known
brilliant.
something was going to go amiss.
Lovely.
Okay, so I think we're about ready. Blah, 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 blah. Say something. Oh, Chris, hold on. Oh, I almost did not. Okay, Chris, you still there, buddy? Okay, talk. I want to check your levels.
Okay.
All right.
Testing.
Good. We got you. And we want to make sure that we put the internet on too. Okay, check. I think we can do this. I think we can make this.
I can.
I think we might be able to do this podcast thing.
OMG.
Are you guys ready
Yes.
to make show business magic?
Every
Oh.
day of my life.
That's all.
Chris, are you ready to make show business magic?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get this fucking show on the road, motherfuckers. Here and away we go. In 5, 4, 3. You know what, guys? The album The Dirt is packed. It's packed tight, and I mean tight, with classics like Rooster, Them Bones, Down in a Hole, Wood, and for all intents and purposes, this could have been a record that we could have discussed on our show about perfect albums. There's not a snooze. There is one like joke track, but that's just something they did for goofing around. But it's contender for absolute perfect album. So on this week's Loudini Rock and Roll Circus podcast, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about Alice in Chains' sophomore release, Dirt. Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. The dynamite. Welcome back, everybody, to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, where we bring you great music content every week, talking about all kinds of music-related topics. This week we're going to be breaking down an album. We do that the second week of every month, but we do all kind of things like shootouts between albums, shootouts between different bands and musicians. You know, it's all done as an effort to bring up the topic and spark conversation. We're not necessarily trying to say that this guy's good and this guy sucks, okay? But we are here to say that Dirt by Alice in Chains absolutely frickin' rocks. It's a great album, and we're going to be breaking it down for you and giving you some interesting Alice in Chains facts along the way. Welcome back. Like I said, it's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. You can find us all over the internet, including LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com, as well as LouLombardiMusic.com. All kind of extra content there. So if you like what we do, go and check it out. Including some merch if you'd like to pick that up as well. We would appreciate it. You can also hear us on Rock Rage Radio, rockrageradio.com. Download the app. We're doing once a week. They're doing 24/7 great music content, so check them out. And I would like to say that we have a special guest with us today. You guys hear me talk about Wolf's Customs all the time, and we have the man himself, Chris Thunderwolf Dodson. Chris, what's up, big guy?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. You have a pup in there with you? Do we hear a dog bark?
A what?
Did we hear a dog bark?
Not yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
you probably will.
I thought I heard a dog bark. Okay. In any case, man, I've had a few vodka and sodas, so I could be hearing all sorts of things. But Chris, why don't you tell the kids at home a little bit about what it is that you do?
Mostly, we're a refinishing business. Guitars, basses, even moving on to drums, as we all know of the Hawk.
Right.
The hollow flash I did for him. And not just instruments, especially with the hollow flash finish, as you see me with in the picture there. You want a simple, just change a color from black to white, red to blue, whatever, or you want something special. We've got marbleizing. We got, of course, the hollow flash, which I can do several ways. Pretty much hand artistry also.
Cool.
You name it. If we can't do it, we're going to give it a shot, and hopefully we'll come up with something.
Cool, guys. Chris is there with us right now. You can see him on the screen. What is that guitar? What did you do to that guitar?
That's hollow flash.
That is hollow flash.
That's two different versions of hollow flash. If you look at the upper left indentation there, that's
right.
a ghost hollow flash.
Oh, spooky.
Compared to the body as an actual hollow flash. What I use the most. That one I was doing an interview on local radio, and that one I'm trying to get up into a new place to display.
Cool.
It's a display model.
Gotcha.
It can work, but it doesn't at the moment.
It's for display purposes only, kids.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Chris is going to be sitting in with us tonight, and how can folks get a hold of you if they're interested in getting this done?
Wolf's Customs. Facebook is the easiest. You'll see a lot more of my stuff there. Our website is under construction at the moment, but we'll be up shortly.
Cool.
And maybe next month.
Awesome.
But yeah, get a hold of me, and text me, whatever,
Gotcha.
We'll get in touch.
Awesome. Okay, guys, Chris Thunderwolf Dodson from Wolf's Customs. Check him out. He says to look him up there on the old Facebook. And hold on, my goodness, this Alice in Chains, they're like ready to start. Like come on, guys, come on, we ain't doing no Alice in Chains right now. Come on, we can't be doing none of this shenanigans. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm just there's whoo, scared the living poop out of my pants. Okay,
Again?
Oh,
let's
man.
turn that down and see if this will do something. There we are. Okay, nice and quiet. Okay, so, not that. I just wanted to play it quietly in the background, but it seems loud. Does it seem loud to
A
you?
little loud, yeah.
Yeah, that's so.
I mean, I like it loud, but I want to be able to hear Lily.
So
There you
we'll try it like. No, we're not going to do that. We will come back to that later. So, yeah, I the levels somehow, Gremlins got in and changed the
No.
levels, I think, while I was.
No
Kids,
doubt.
don't try this at home.
What happened was we had a brownout. You get a lot of those
Here in Canonsburg.
Yeah. And so things changed.
We live on the mountain up here, so.
Yeah, oh my God, it was blowing so darn hard. I felt like
waiting for the roof to
Han
come off.
Solo
Yeah.
in Star Wars, where they're like, he's like, hold together, baby.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's
Nerds.
exactly like
Nerds.
nerds,
Shut up,
nerds,
Lily,
nerds. We're gonna record that nerds. And every time Lily says nerds, we're gonna hit a button.
Play.
Nerds.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
So, anyways, guys, so welcome back to Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, and let's go ahead. What you got, Lily? You got like a little background you want to talk about? You want to give a little like background on the band? How you want to get started with
I'm
this?
not going to give a background on the band, but I'll give a background on the album.
Wow.
Well, I'm prefacing this by saying I'm not a fan of this whole grunge movement thing, but Alice in Chains would be one that I can definitely tolerate out of the ones that have come out that were super famous. And Dirt came out in September of '92. It is their second studio album. They released it through Columbia Records, peaking at number 6 on the Billboard. It was very well received by music critics. Been certified 4 times platinum, and is a band's highest selling album to date. Also, the last album recorded with all 4 original members, as bassist Mike Starr was fired from the band in January of '93 due to drugs. Surprise! It spawned 5 singles: Wood, Them Bones, Angry Chair Rooster, and Down in a Hole. It was nominated for an MTV
It's not funny, Lou.
Video Music Award.
Hit that hole.
I knew
It's
that was
not funny,
coming.
Lou. Somebody could have got hurt, Lou.
Down in my hole.
Nominated for an MTV Video Music Award for Best Video from a Film. And the song was featured on the soundtrack of Cameron Crowe's Singles. Did everybody see the movie Singles?
Signals.
Singles.
By Rush.
I saw it
Yes,
once.
Rush!
I saw it once.
Oh my God. I
Get
have
it?
if you want to borrow
Singles
Yeah, I
one.
get
I
it.
saw it once.
Bless you. Anyway.
Oh my.
The songs focused on depression, pain, anger, drugs, war, death, other emotional topics. The track Iron Gland features Tom Araya from Slayer on vocals. Most of the music was written by Jerry Cantrell, but for the first time, vocalist Lane Staley wrote 2 songs by himself, Hate to Feel and Angry Chair. Both also feature him on guitar. It was actually recorded during the Los Angeles riots, whenever LAPD officers were caught on camera beating Rodney King. And the riots started on the
I
first
haven't
day.
seen a beating like that since Rodney King.
Oh, and
Oh,
there it
Craig.
is.
Oh, Craig.
Oh, Craig, you a bad man.
Craig, you bad. That was terrible.
We share the same brain.
Yes, you do. The band was watching
It's
TV.
like the man with 2 brains.
Oh my God. I'm leaving.
No, stay.
The band was watching TV when the verdict for the incident was announced, and Jerry Cantrell was in a store buying some beer when a man came in and started looting the place.
Oh, I guess beer's
As you
free
do.
now.
Yeah, as you
Like, see,
do.
Jerry's like, cool.
Yeah,
I get this
I'm
shit for
leaving.
free, fuck it.
But
That's
basically,
right.
he saw all the carnage, people getting pulled out of their cars, beaten, that whole thing, whatever.
Well, I mean, that's what the good riot is about. If you're not pulling people out of cars and
Right.
beating shit out of them,
Right.
you know what I mean? That was the old days, man. When people rioted and people got the shit kicked out of them, and it was like, well, it was a riot.
That's right.
Nowadays, they got to bring people into court. They got to sue this guy and all that. No.
Took all the fun out of it.
When recording the album, Staley had previously checked out of rehab and quickly went back to using heroin.
He was like, rehab? Fuck this.
I'm out.
Rehab sucks. See, that's why Amy Winehouse wrote that song.
Right?
Go to rehab. No.
No.
Because rehab
She
freaking
knows.
sucks. Has anybody here ever been to rehab?
No.
Okay. Chris, you ever been to rehab?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. That sucks, right?
I'm like, one of us is going to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Chris is like, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
You know, so that's why what Lane did. He was like, rehab, this bullshit.
I mean, we all know the end of that whole saga. But anyway, he went on to go cold turkey off the drugs on his own while reading The Bad Place by Dean Koontz. And he was not the only one who went through heavy drug use. Sean Kinney and Mike Starr also had problems as well. So there's my background.
Sean Kinney and I are friends on Facebook.
Oh, the drummer, yay.
And I don't see anything he does. You know how Facebook is.
There's that.
But they actually had a guy, I don't think this was his only job, but one of his mates, he was like a kind of security guy that worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
And his job was to make sure that Lane did not do too much
Oh, wow.
heroin.
Just enough.
Yeah, he was like, and some people from the like the MTV, what was it called, Unplugged staff, like have like been interviewed and talked about them being on there, and that Lane was like, he was backstage. He had this little vial he shot up, before, and He did, and he didn't talk about it in America, but there's an interview on French TV where he's very candid. He's like, yeah, just a little bit, you don't want to get too much. I had to do a show.
Just a little to keep me
He's
straight.
talking about freaking heroin. He wasn't like talking about taking a puff off a doobie or something. It's like, that was just like a thing. And the sad thing about it was his dad was a drug addict, and he swore he would never do drugs.
Yeah.
He lied.
It's... it's like, these guys were like something. I think I need to tell the folks at home something I think Lily V6 would really appreciate.
Go ahead.
Okay. That there were Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley were in separate bands in Seattle, and they were your favorite genre.
Oh,
They
yes.
were hair metal bands.
Yeah.
And
That's probably why I like this band.
One band was called Gypsy Road.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
And then those bands kind of like got together. Actually, Mike and Sean were in, I believe, Jerry's band. And somehow he coaxed Lane to leave his band. I can't remember which one was which. And they ended up forming Alice in Chains and dropped the whole, the glam look and everything like that. And, became. But if you listen to Facelift, like Man in the Box, that fit really well on like rock radio. It didn't sound. I thought it was super heavy and I liked it and everything. But I didn't go, this is a new style of music. It just sounded like really good, heavy rock.
Right,
and I was
exactly.
like, damn, this kicks ass. That's all like, what'd you think? Do you remember when Man in the Box came out, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I graduated in 91. So,
Cool.
yeah, I was right there with it. But, when you're saying that this is something new and heavy, that heck, I was already listening to Slayer and Anthrax and all that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was listening to Anthrax and Iron Maiden and bands like that too. But this it didn't, like I said, it didn't sound. To me, they didn't really get the sort of like where they were going until they got to Dirt.
Right.
Dirt is the record that kind of like, okay, this is what like. So they had that first record, that Facelift, which is a kind of like starter album for them, And there was a thing in the '90s too, this like sophomore curse, where a lot of bands like they would have a big first album, like the Gin Blossoms and a bunch of other bands like that, and then they could not.
Then they
duplicate that success. They just could not do it. But these guys actually came to life on Dirt, their second album. Just packed full of really great moments. One of the things that stuck out to me, re-listening to this album, I have not listened to it in a very long time. I was during this era, the 90s, I was in a band that was based out of Indiana, Pennsylvania. So I was living in Greensburg, so I was driving back and forth from Greensburg to Indiana. And the station that you picked up was Quick Rock out of Johnstown. And this record had already been out for a few years, and they played it like it came out yesterday. Like they just played, and it's a great record. Like it all like kind of became an instant. The first album, Man in the Box, is like an instant. Like just like every bar band plays Man in the Box. Like it's one of those songs. But they really kind of like hit their stride with what they were going to do with Dirt. It's this mix of like alternative rock, punk rock, and like a heavy dose of Black Sabbath. Like really listen to this record. There are moments you're like, this could be like a song Sabbath could have done. Like it's like they really have they've got those kind of super heavy riffs. I was thinking as I was listening to it, I'm going like, okay, like these guys are like, if Sabbath came out in the 90s but were American and had good vocal harmony.
That's a lot of things.
A lot of ifs.
But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the album a little bit. We're going to do track by track?
Sure.
Track by track.
Oh my God.
What do you got?
My brain. Them Bones is first. Opening track, second single from the album. Jerry Cantrell says about the track, I was just thinking about mortality, that one of these days will end up as a pile of bones. It's a thought for every human being, whether you believe in an afterlife or that when we die, that's it, which is what I think. The thought that all of...
Thank you for sharing it with
I'm
us.
sorry. I thought I'd give my opinion on it. The thought that all the beautiful things and knowledge and experiences you've been through just end when you end scares me. The thought that when you close your eyes for good, it's gone forever. The song was used in the American version of Street Fighter II, the animated movie.
Any comments on this song, Mr. Pittsburgh?
No, I too believe that when you die, it's over. That's the only comment I have.
That's all you got.
There are no comments on the music.
What? Oh, there's music involved?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
Mr. Thunderwolf. Do you have anything you wanna chime in on anything on this?
just plain and simple. You know what makes this album such a great one is a kick-ass song.
Yep, it is a kick-ass song for sure. Some interesting facts, and Lily might say nerds again.
Well, I will.
But
That's a given.
first of all, this is the only rock single ever, or pop single ever, to use 4 chromatic chords in a row.
What?
The progression is just 4 chords straight up the chromatic scale.
You just blew my mind right through my face.
I mean, that's really weird. It's a very bizarre song. It is less than 3 minutes long. However, it has 3 full verses and a guitar solo.
Well,
Like,
get to it.
It's like there's like no fat. It's like exactly like boom.
Get it done.
Less than 3 minutes. Yeah, they get it done.
Yeah, get it done, man.
They just like, don't bore us, take us to the chorus.
Get in, get out.
I mean, this song is like, I can understand why this is the song that opens the album. And that riff is odd. I mean, awesome. It is odd. It isn't kind of
You're
an
odd.
odd time thing going on there as well.
Yeah.
Jerry and Lane sing perfect fourth harmonies. Okay? And they sing the same 2 notes for like 3 of those chords. Mm-hmm. And the way they put the notes together, each one of those notes is actually in each one of those chords, even though those are just chromatic. They don't change, but the chords move.
Okay.
It is
That's kinda
really
cool.
interesting.
That's very cool, yeah.
Yeah. I believe that is called in music oblique motion.
Whoa. The more you know.
The more you know. Would you like to know more? Okay, the scream. Now, if you go to Rick Beato's YouTube channel, he has a video, What Makes This Song Great, where he talks about the song, and he isolates Lane's scream at the beginning. And when you hear it isolated, it sounds like a scream from like a horror film.
Oh.
Because there's this like really like ow, 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 like echo
Yeah.
on it. And when you hear it just like by itself, it just sounds like somebody screaming in terror. It's like really
Nice.
good. It's like,
Wow.
so like when you hear it in the song, it doesn't have that dramatic, but it's like kind of like subliminally there. It's really
Haunting, yo.
interesting. Yeah. But I mean, and this is kind of like sets the tone for what the whole album is. Like insanely heavy with amazing vocals. The vocals on the Alice in Chains songs are just really good. Like you don't think about it because they're so heavy and they're grunge and but like when you really listen to what they're doing vocally, it's really like Gary Sharon and Nuno Betancourt.
Yes.
Those guys have these
Yes.
great harmonies together.
Yeah, the harmonies are what kills it.
Yep. So, because these guys would just be a kind of Sabbath band, only with alternative kind of influence. But when you bring those harmonies in there, it really does something completely different.
Puts it on a whole new level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that is how the album opens. So what you got? What? We don't have to go through every track, like name them, but the ones that aren't like real famous, we'll just kind of say cool and move to the next one.
Those I usually just have something small for. But Damn That River.
Cool.
is next.
Next song.
Seriously, there's a story behind it.
Go ahead.
Jerry wrote the song about a fight he had with Sean. Jerry needed a ride and kept bugging Sean about a ride and made him so mad that he picked up a coffee table and broke it over Jerry's head. Now,
That's terrible.
this sort of sounded like it was false, but apparently it's actually in the liner notes from the music box set. So
wow.
apparently
See?
that's a whole thing. So that's my notes on that.
Okay. Cool.
So you wrote the song as a payback.
Yeah.
It's not a payback. It's like, cool, you wrote a song about something we did. That's
Right.
like, and it's immortalized.
It's story.
I believe this is one of the singles off the album as well.
I don't have that written down.
And this is the second song.
Yeah.
Damn, That River is a killer tune. And it's the second song on like this amazing record. So what do you got next?
Rain When I Die.
Let's talk about this. I love this song.
It's a powerful song. It's about a girl who, this is what I took from it. It's about a girl who left Lane and left him feeling as though he's nothing without her. He couldn't love her the way he needed, with the way she needed, which is why she left. Other interpretations say that it's about drugs. They're not giving him the satisfaction that he needs. Either way, it's got the great slow build up in the beginning. It's stated that when Lane passed away, it did rain, but it's Seattle. It rains all the time. So let's be real on that. And just to go further on that, he did die from a speedball, which is a coke and heroin mixture. And they did find him 2 weeks after he passed, weighing 86 pounds and decomposed. And he died the same day as Kurt Cobain did, but 8 years later.
Oh, wow.
That's why he was so decomposed the same day. And they find
Yes. Yes. No, they
Dang, man.
They found him 2 weeks
Ain't
after
nothing
that.
left of you. He was skin and bone.
Oh, boy. And
Maybe mostly bone, but little
Yeah.
skin.
maggots.
They walked in and said, "What's them bones?"
Them
That's what he said.
Them
Wow.
bone,
Thank
them
you,
dry
thank you.
bones.
Thank you very much.
You'll be here all day.
This
Not
is
weak.
like I think this song is like it's kind of a song that Black Sabbath could have easily come up with.
You
I
and
mean,
that
it's-
Black Sabbath. You're always talking about the Black Sabbath. Go ahead, Duke. I'm sorry.
He was obsessed with his own death. He said that the reason he liked doing heroin because it was like really dangerous. Like he says that's what it was all about. That's why
It's a thrill.
You know, it's a thrill to the fact that you could die. Like it's that's how intense, and that's how like on the edge you're like willing to live. And I mean, Alice in Chains music is very much on the edge. It's out there. It's different. It's but it's still very fucking heavy. It's still very kind of reachable, and so they had to do heroin.
Your Honor, I had to.
They had to do heroin.
I had to do it.
You know what I mean, right? You know, I mean, what else you gonna do? This is how you get this
you gonna
sound.
do?
Hey, man, how do you get that sound? Heroin.
Heroin.
It's all about the heroin.
Wow.
I was just asking about
Did you
your-
hear that, Loudini? He's telling people to do heroin.
Yeah,
oh
that-
my God, he's canceled.
That's going to be on TMZ next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they get the video of me running up and down the street naked in the 19-degree weather.
Yeah.
Oh, dear
He's
God.
just exercising.
How you doing over there, Mr. Thunderwolf?
I'm good.
Good. I'm doing. We're kicking ass. So what's the next track?
Down in a hole. I knew it.
You fat ball.
Yeah, Fat Hall.
Power ballad in the fifth and last
Power.
single from their album The Dirt. The acoustic version performed on Alice in Chains MTV Unplugged in 1996 was released in a live album and DVD. Jerry Cantrell was first hesitant to present the song to the band, feeling that the song was too soft, but after a positive response from the band, they followed through and recorded it. He wrote this about the love of his life, Courtney Clark. The song encompasses all of the insecurities and self-doubt inherent in a relationship. The song reached number 10 on the Billboard mainstream rock chart.
Courtney died of a heroin overdose, and Lane felt that he was responsible.
Surprise.
Yeah, they had. It was very, very sad, and a lot of people feel this is what ultimately led to his, demise as well. Yeah, it's a cool jam. Everybody knows the MTV Unplugged version. This is one of the songs that. There's certain songs, and this would be a cool podcast. Maybe we have. I think we did this. The live version's more famous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Frampton, Bob Seger.
All of Cheap Trick.
This is one of this could be on one of those lists. It's more popular as the live version because of the acoustic thing. This the unplugged. The digress just for briefly. The unplugged thing was interesting because Jerry Cantrell had some kind of he ate a bad hot dog. This is what he says. And they actually had a bucket for him. He was throwing up in between songs on.
Give me a bucket. Wow.
How nice.
Had a bad hot dog.
Bring me a bucket.
That's kind of more metal than grunge.
Yeah.
Well, these guys, they are definitely. You know, what is grunge? Like when I listen to this now that it's all over. You know what I mean? We're all like, you know what I mean? Everything's happened. To me, it just sounds like heavy rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like all caught up in that, you know, thing. But anyways, so they were doing that, and Metallica. Do you guys know Metallica was in the audience?
No.
Did not know that.
I did not know.
That's wild, wacky stuff. Ed.
And the bass player Mike had painted on his acoustic bass. You know, I hope we don't end up getting Frenchy haircuts.
Yeah, I
Because
remember
this is
that.
when
Yes,
Metallica
yes,
had just
yes.
cut their hair.
Right.
So he was jerking him. They were all friends. They like all knew each other. They partied
Yep,
together.
I remember that.
You know, it was meant to be like a they were kind of like nodding, hey, Metallica's in the audience, you know, without announcing, hey, you know, that'd be super cheesy.
Yeah.
Hey, Metallica's in
By
the
the way,
audience. They say hi, guys.
You
Let's
would
come
do
up
it.
Well,
Don't
they
even
wouldn't
lie.
understand, man. You know,
You would do
Well,
it.
they weren't going to turn it into a Vegas show. But, and, of course, Down in the Hole. The acoustic version is the one that I think that most people know. So, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to take a break, and we're going to go real quick.
Sick Man.
Sick Man.
This one is basically Lane knew he was going to eventually die from drug addictions.
Look, I'm dying from this shit anyway.
Yeah, so
might as well.
a song about it.
Yeah.
The world to him was not a place to live, so it didn't matter if you lived or died. There's nothing worth getting clean for. It's a very self-loathing song. And you can tell by the song that he really doesn't have a really huge, strong hold on his life at that point. So there it is, sadness in the grunge
We
way.
are going to take a quick break and come back and see if anybody's commenting and say hi to our good buddy. And by the way, we do have Chris Thunderwolf Dodson hanging out with us today. So thank you, Chris. So we'll come back and say hi to him too as well. So guys, everybody chill out, get something to drink. I'm going to take a piss, and we will be right back. This is a song that I've never played for anybody.
Oh boy, magic.
Excited.
And Keith and I did this song.
Yeah.
And my new band is doing their own. We're doing like a different version of it. So we're having some fun with this one. This is a song called "Sun-Kissed Nerd Girl," and if you'd like to know about
There's that nerd thing again.
the title, ask me. It's an interesting story.
Okay.
I'm struggling.
Crawling inside and falling down the tomb of your love. This game we're playing, this game we're praying to the gods of magic and drugs. This nerd boy's waited by your door unsated, so enter your holy place. The portal now opens, his hands filled with tokens to win a glance from your face. Sun-kissed nerd girl, wrap me in them break the girls. Sun-kissed nerd girl, show around the secret world. Craft dog, figures fall, stool around your
And
I
we're
love
back.
those fast endings, right? Yeah. That is Sunkissed Nerd Girl. Keith the Hawk Hawkins on the drums. Loudini on pretty much everything else. I have to say, too, I want to give a shout out to Chris Ruane. You guys know him? Chris is the drummer for one of my favorite Pittsburgh bands, Fist Fight in the Parking Lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he mixed that for me. He did
Nice.
a really
Cool.
nice job. He took something that was really rough and polished it up. He made me redo things. He's like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah, how's that feel? I've recorded with you. How's that feel, huh?
Gotta redo that. Well, there's producers. You want to watch some of these behind the music or classic album
I
things?
just did the Tom Petty one where they talked about working a week on just the snare drum.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
So yeah.
Yeah. I saw the Number of the Beast and Bruce singing and re-singing that song over and over. And I can't remember. We did the Pantera album with the with the fist. What's it? Bones Magoo has the week off. So
Oh, Bones. Enjoy your week off, buddy.
Vulgar Display.
Display of Power, yes.
But I can't remember which track it
was
is. You
there.
actually hear Anselmo throwing the microphone into the garbage can because they made him do it over and over and over and over. But so no, it was I loved working with him, and he may be doing my new band stuff. I don't know yet. We're thinking about what we're doing, but
Cool.
we need to have conversations. So anyway, welcome back, guys. Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Go to LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. Visit our good friend Chris Thunderwolf Dodson. Chris, what's the best way to folks to get a hold of you again if they want custom finish on their musical instrument?
Quickest, fastest way is on Facebook. Send me a message. Send me, get my number. Send me a text. Because I do work a full-time job, so I can't always answer my phone.
No.
But you send me a text or a PM on Facebook. My phone will wake me up and say, hey.
Get to work. All right, cool. Excellent. RockRageRadio.com. Download the app. We have Lily V6 here from Rock Rage Radio, and
Yay.
she's looking at your comments. So what do we got?
We have two comments. One from Jared Grease saying,
One was shut the fuck up, and then was
Pretty much.
get off the.
Yeah, what he said. The
Jared
other one was,
Grease
what he
says
said.
Dirt is my favorite Alice in Chains album. And Barb Hilashevsky said, I remember waiting in line at IDES to get the album Dirt the day it was released, and it came with a free t-shirt. Damn, I'm old.
Sweet.
No, you're not old.
No.
Sweet.
So it's fine.
Very cool, Barb. And Jared, did we work on that song in your guitar lessons? Because Jared was a former guitar student, and he was taking lessons off me during that era when all that music was popular. So I don't know if we ever worked on that together, but or if you worked in it with Mr. Bill Duff, rest in peace. So anyway, we are talking about the I said it's like a Homer Simpson moment. Don't say the dirt. That's the Motley Crue thing.
Dirt, yeah.
And I almost said we're talking about the dirt. I almost said it.
No.
But
So close.
so close. And I was like, don't Anyways, Brain. I don't like you, and you don't like me. So anyway, what do we got? What do you got? Go ahead, Lily. What you got next?
Rooster is next. Written by...
Brewster.
Not
my
Brewster.
God.
I thought you said Brewster.
No, I want ice cream.
Wow.
Brewster's Millions.
Oh my
there you
gosh.
go.
There's 3 things we're talking about now. The song was written by Jerry Cantrell for his father, Jerry Cantrell Sr., whose childhood nickname was Rooster, and served with the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. Cantrell would later name his music publishing company as Rooster Sun Publishing. Rooster spent 20 weeks on Billboard mainstream rock tracks chart and peaked at number 7. And the acoustic version, of course, was on the MTV Unplugged concert. In the liner notes, Jerry Cantrell said of the song, I think there's some video on demo that maybe we didn't get here, but it has something all of its own quality for one thing. He actually wrote it at Chris Cornell's house in Seattle.
He was homeless, and Chris and his wife let him stay there.
Yeah, Susan Silver.
And she was managing Alice in Chains too. Yeah,
Silver was the Alice in Chains manager. Cantrell kept thinking about his father and the psychological scars from his time in the Vietnam War that contributed to his breakdown of his family. Cantrell wrote the lyrics from the standpoint of his father. And this was also kind of a funny story for me. For senior prank, someone let a rooster out into the halls of my high school, Chartreuse Houston High School, and they played the song over the PA.
And you had to kill it.
No, we did not have to kill it. I would never kill a rooster. I would never kill any animal, but
They did.
Fetch the rooster.
but they
You
did
had to
let a
kill that
rooster
rooster.
out in the halls, and someone had to trap it.
Then you killed it.
No, we
kill
didn't
it
kill
Killed
it.
it real
Kill
good,
it.
didn't
He
you?
needed killing.
Oh my god, I would never kill an animal.
Took a sling blade to it.
Hello. Okay. There is Pittsburgh Kevin and I were
Yes.
talking about this before we started the podcast, and I think the song is freaking amazing. Song. It's brilliant. And I was sort of not shocked, but kind of surprised when I read long time ago the story of the song, what the song was about.
Right.
It was about a soldier and all this sorts of thing, and Jerry Cantrell's father, etc. And because that was not I thought that the whole thing was a metaphor.
Right.
And who is the rooster?
Oh. Who is the rooster?
Who is the rooster? The rooster is like the one who like protects the hens. And
Yeah.
he's got to stand guard. And he's got to take the shots, and he's got to stand up for shit, and he's got to maybe sometimes get his ass kicked, you know. But he ain't gonna die. He can't die because he's got like
Gotta protect
precious
them hens.
cargo, or that he's got to protect because the eggs can't get made and everything like that. So, and I think which is a metaphor for like, and this is gonna sound really old fashioned and sexist, but kind of like the head of the household.
Yeah, legit.
Who and it could be a man or a woman. I will say that.
He's gonna be PC.
or a non-gender specific person, but there is usually that person in the household who
Who's
is the
in
head of the
charge.
household.
Yeah.
Who's like taking the freaking hits, who's slaying the dragon, who's making sure the shit gets done right. I'm not saying everybody else is slacking off, but there's this, there's just this idea.
There's always someone in
the
charge.
head.
There's like a kind of a leader. And the situation may switch. But in any case, I don't want to get like off on that. But anyways, so that was sort of my interpretation of the song, that like life can like fucking brutal at times, and shit's coming at you, man. But you got to keep your family together. You got to be the man. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind of interesting that his dad was like nicknamed
The
Rooster
Yeah.
because of his like cocky attitude when he was a kid, which I think is really really cool. So this is just a little side note about Rooster is that the Vietnamese did not have eagles. They didn't know what an eagle was. But the American troops painted the eagle on the side of their like planes
Choppers,
or whatever,
planes,
everything, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So the only what's the word I want? The only congruent thing that they had to compare to an eagle in their mind, the only analog to an eagle was a rooster.
Interesting.
So they would call them roosters.
Yes.
There it is.
And thank you.
I love history
I
lessons.
studied all day for this test.
You did great.
And you didn't even nerd out, which is so great.
He wanted to.
He wanted to.
He wanted to, but he held it together.
It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
It's like stunning. And so anyway, great song. Rooster, what do you got? Let's kind of hit the highlights here because we're kind of closing in on the last 20 minutes or so. Maybe
got a
like
lot.
18 minutes. We're not going to hit every song, guys. Sorry.
Oh, so Dirt's next.
Dirt.
Not
Give
about-
me the dirt. Just give me the dirt. No, I'm
That's
joking.
beautiful.
It's a joke.
That's
Oh, I lied. Actually, Junkhead's next. Sorry.
Junkhead.
Junkhead or Jughead?
Junkhead.
Archie.
They did a song about the Archies.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Jughead.
would be hysterical. This is not about drugs, but their thoughts on drug abuse. Lane is talking about a drug dealer that they just met when they get turned on to heroin. And then Lane goes on to say how he hates like counselors and people in society that don't understand users. So,
a story behind this as well is Lane's dealer came into the studio
Oh.
and made a comment on one of the songs, like, man, I think you should do this, and it's fucking, and Cantrell lost his shit.
no doubt.
And he lost his fucking mind. He was like, you got to be fucking kidding. Get the fuck out of here. And he told him, he says, you don't ever do that here again. Like, you do not bring
Bye.
drug dealers here to the fucking studio. you imagine? That is pretty fucking.
That's kind of ballsy, actually.
It's tacky. It's like, man, right, dude.
That last song.
Now, the only way that would have worked out good is if it turned out that drug dealer later on became Rick Rubin or something.
Right,
Like that.
yeah,
Now,
right.
that would be a cool story.
But that's not really the case.
You're not a
here.
producer.
Yeah.
Then I went on to become a producer.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But I was like, I heard that story. I'm like, oh, that was so. It's like, so cringy. Like even like there's that Beatles documentary I've referenced before, and like Yoko and Linda are both there, but they're like, boy, I you know what? Here's what almost came out of my mouth. So you can't hold this against me, internet. What almost came out of my mouth was they were very well behaved.
Wow.
That would be wrong to say.
Why? Because we're
women? That's why I didn't say it. But like they understood that like these guys they were not they understood that they weren't the Beatles.
Right.
And they didn't really they were just there to be kind of emotionally supportive or whatever. But anyway,
that was nice.
So let's move on.
Dirt's next. It's not about drugs like people say it is. It's about parents. Cantrell's father again in the Vietnamese War, and Lane's abusive parents wanting him to become famous so that his father would be proud of him.
Oh,
Boom goes the dynamite.
there you go.
So what do you got next?
Godsmack. Obviously about drugs because Godsmack
God.
is
I'm
The
seeing a
of-
trend
this
here.
smack is so good, it's God.
the true meaning behind Godsmack is a heroin overdose. So this one is about
God
heroin.
smacked me.
Yes,
Yeah, he
God
sure
smacks
did.
you right in the head.
When God smacks you in the head, you done.
You done, boy.
You day.
Wow.
He real day.
Well, they wrote about the band before the band.
Yeah.
Right.
They were
What they were doing,
Prophetic.
Chris, was they were prophesying.
they were
They were
right.
so in touch.
They were visionaries. They knew what was coming.
They knew Godsmack would be a band.
Wow. They knew about the Motley Crue movie too.
Enough.
He knew there would be a Motley Crue movie named The Dirt.
Crazy.
Anyway, the next one is the intro dream sequence, Iron Gland, sometimes called Untitled. 43 seconds of intro and them saying Iron God and Red Rum, and obviously pays homage to Black Sabbath in a way as the Iron Man song, as well as The Shining. So a little bit of more of a nightmare than a dream.
Okay, real quick. I know a little inside story on this.
Go ahead.
This was a riff that Cantrell kept playing and they hated, and so he kept playing it.
Oh, there's that.
So it was just like that.
As you do.
Anytime
Yeah.
somebody was like prattling on like I am right now about bullshit, like he would start playing that riff and people were like, fuck you, and storm out and shit like that. So they said we got to record it because it's part of the experience. But what do you got next?
Hate to Feel. I don't have a whole lot on this other than it. Sometimes they merge the intro into this song. So if you have anything on that.
Rongo Mongo.
Okay. Wow. Angry Chairs next. Written entirely by Lane Staley for the band in the liner notes of 1999's Music Bank box set collection. Jerry Cantrell said, such a brilliant song. I'm very proud of Lane for writing it when I've stepped up vocally in the past. He's been so supportive, and he was a fine example of him stepping up with the guitar and writing a masterpiece.
I think Weird Al should do a version of this. They called it Disgruntled Recliner.
There it is. You've been thinking about that all day.
I wrote that joke 20 years ago, just been waiting for a chance to.
Yeah.
Like George Costanza.
This is the
and that
whole
whatever.
reason for this podcast. You've been
I
waiting
had to
20
create a whole
years.
just so I could say that joke.
Finally.
No, I'm kidding. I seriously it just came, but I was just thinking about. I always thought that was such a great that is like when you hear those words, angry chair, like you get like a picture in your mind.
Oh yeah.
It's like. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. It's so brilliant. When I remember, angry, I'm like, oh fuck, another song, fucking brilliant. Go ahead, what do you got next?
Wood is the last song.
Wood.
God, I hate it. Anyway, Silence, written by guitarist and vocalist Cantrell as a tribute to his friend Andrew Wood, lead vocalist of Mother Love Bone, who died in 1990. Cantrell sings the verses of the song while Staley sings the choruses. Jerry Cantrell sang the intro on this track, and Lane Staley had to convince him to do it.
Out of Mother Love Bone came Pearl Jam.
Yes, I know that.
That was the
That's
band.
right.
before.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like Mother Love Bone either.
I actually
Open up your mind.
I actually out of spite against Pearl Jam. I'm probably going to end up meeting Pearl Jam one day. They can be like the nicest guys. They're so cool.
I'm sure they're probably super.
Hey, man.
I'm always digging on them, but out of spite against them, like just to rebel against them, I bought the Mother Love Bone CD like twice.
Twice.
Because I was like, no, I want Mother Love Bone.
You're just more popular. So 2 times as many CDs.
But I think maybe I'm thinking of like what I'm trying to do is get the head on the podcasts. So I got
that
next week's,
head.
the week after. But maybe, do you remember there was a kind of flirtation with a Southern rock revival in the 90s with bands like Sun Volt?
Okay, yeah.
That was a sort of thing going. Then it was like the Remember not the Replacements. Remember the Refreshments?
Yeah.
They kind of had that Americana kind of thing going on. So that might be a kind of like thing to kind of at some point like kind of delve into that. That's a
Explore
super
it.
niche genre of a genre. Great record. So what else can you say about it?
It was great.
It's the one I like out of all the
Is the
grunge,
one that I like?
out of all the grunge bands. Alice in Chains would be the one I like the best.
There is one thing that I'm curious about that I did not see.
Oh.
Dave Jordan produced it.
Yes.
Okay.
I have that on my notes. I just didn't know if it was relevant to the conversation.
American record producer, engineer, mixer who's worked with artists in various genres, including alternative rock, punk rock, metal. However, Jordan stated that he dislikes the term producer, preferring to refer to himself primarily as an engineer.
Okay.
So, whatever. But in any case, that Dave Jordan. One thing I do want to add, and Chris is into music, and Kevin's a guitar player as well.
Sure.
The guitar sounds on this. Okay.
Amazing.
This is 2 Bogner amps. So what they did was they stacked. They had one filling the low the baser, the low frequencies, the baser. One filling the middle frequencies and one filling the kind of treble frequencies.
Okay.
So he played through all 3, mic'd up perfectly. It took like hours and hours and hours. But it's a Bogner Fishman preamp. And then the Bogner Ecstasy amp was doing the mid-range, and the Scholes Rockman for the treble.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a freaking Rockman on this. Like, how like rock and roll can you get? Like,
You've got
freaking Boston. I mean, like, it's like these guys are so steeped in music. Like, they fucking know Black Sabbath and they know fucking Boston. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not like, these aren't like, you could tell by the songwriting, the arranging, the playing, and everything. Like, I think some of it is intentionally, and I'm going to use this word cautiously, sloppy.
Oh.
Yeah, like it kind of like when Jimmy Page does the breakdown in "Live and Love and Made," where he plays that thing, and it sounds a little kind of wonky in a place or two. You know what I mean? Like, I think they were just kind of like they were in tune with that. Like, they were so steeped in the tradition of rock. I don't know this for a fact, and this is just a sort of like fantasy I'm having right now.
Okay.
That these guys were guys that were got turned on of the music that they were listening to, like Van Halen and Motley Crue and all those bands, and so that was the first thing they did. Let's do something like that because we love that or whatever. And I think as they went along, they maybe became kind of musicologists in a way, that they got interested in punk rock and they got interested in alternative,
right.
And they were like, well, wait a minute, where does all this shit come from? And then they went back in time and listened to Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and bands like that. I mean, you can hear all those things,
all those influences kind of wrapped into it.
I mean, it's this is it's like some heavy duty rock and roll, to quote my friends from Spinal Tap.
Right.
Anyway, so the dirt.
There it is. You can't even help yourself. You have to
stop
say
saying it now.
The dirt.
The dirt.
Can't even help yourself.
Oh, goodness gracious. So anyway, let's talk real quickly, just for gigs and shitholes, about this day in music.
Musica.
Who wrote the Tonight Show theme song?
Chuck Mangione.
Nope.
That would. Oh man, if that was right,
You think about it while we do this day in music. Okay, so Lily's gonna look it up. It's somebody super famous.
It was Alan Thicke.
When you see it, you'll be like, "Oh shit!" It's somebody super famous. Anyways,
Super.
Since my baby left,
Me.
Found a new place to dwell. You know, Heartbreak Hotel.
Sure.
One of the songs that was recorded on this on a recording session for RCA Records this day in 1956 by Elvis Presley.
Wow.
There is an awesome collection. If you and I have bought it on CD. It's called Elvis 56, and that's like his when he first broke out. It's like rawest, nastiest stuff, and he had the Heartbreak Hotels and like all his really big songs from that era are on there, and it's called Elvis 56, and the songs are remastered. And you can listen to them on a good stereo, and you really hear the bass and everything. It's just like you feel like you're in the room with them while they're doing it.
Yeah. Cool.
If you're like into music, you should definitely check it out. Speaking of Elvis Presley, this day in 1958, Jerry Lewis was at number 1 in the UK singles charts with Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis.
I was going to
Hey, ladies, don't! With Great Balls of Fire. Lewis was not Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis
There you go.
was the only major white rock and roll star to play piano rather than guitar.
Oh, that's right.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Wow. The Killer.
The first U.S. Beatles album introducing the Beatles was released on this day on VJ Records.
Who didn't know something would happen there?
Yes, the Beatles do something every day.
Yeah, every single day there's a Beatle thing.
There's a Beatle thing.
Beatles.
I think that we should contact Jack White.
Yeah.
And Jack Black.
Uh-huh.
And we should
Both
have
Jacks.
them write a concept album
Sure.
about how the Beatles did something every single day. Like, you know what I mean? Like how they were so amazing that they have every day of the year covered, like including Christmas, and like they did something.
Yeah. Even like leap days.
They could make a concept
Leap year
it could
days.
be like a trilogy.
It could be the Black White album.
Oh my gosh.
John Lennon's
The Grey album.
Let's fast forward.
The Grey album.
You're welcome.
Do you guys? You do not remember this. I
You
know
weren't
you do not
born
remember
yet.
this. But Kevin, I know you remember this. And Chris, you might remember this. I don't know how old you are. Do you guys remember the CB craze?
10-4, good buddy.
Remember that?
yeah.
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 On this day in 1976,
C.W.
C.W.
McCall.
went to number 1, the U.S. singles charts with
Convoy. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Mighty Convoy.
Boy, rocking through the night. Sorry,
Yep.
Liz.
Yep, number Tay and number Tay.
Number Tay. Number Tay.
Number Tay.
The Tay.
Number 2 in the UK charts.
Yeah.
Okay, so like.
They
But
even
still,
liked it.
you wouldn't think that would be a big song in England. Like they
Right,
they
it
got
was.
off on it in England. That's crazy. McCall was, in fact, an advertising agent whose real name was Bill Fries.
I worked with a Bill Fries.
Bill Fries?
Fry.
I worked with a guy named Bill Fries
Really?
at Shop and Save. He was,
Maybe-
he was
well-
a cashier and I was a bagger.
Maybe, after the whole CB craze, CW had to go back to Bill Fries and work at Shop and Save.
I worked
Maybe.
with a guy
Nah, he
called
wasn't that old.
What'd you
Richard
say,
Hurt.
Chris?
I worked with a guy named Richard Hurt.
How was Dick?
Think he's hurting.
That's I'll not have that kind of talk on my podcast, mister. I don't know how they do things in your part of the world, but I'm just kidding.
But here,
I kind of feel like we're worse here.
yeah, I think you might be right.
On this day in 1981, speaking of the Beatles,
Right.
John Lennon, Imagine, started a 4-week run at number 1.
Wow.
Okay, let's switch it up a bit.
There's one we
You
haven't heard
guys
from.
I don't know if we ever mentioned Cyndi Lauper on the podcast before, but I like her.
I
do
love her.
too.
I think she's fantastic.
Cyndi Lauper became the first female recording artist since Bobby Gentry in 1967 to be nominated for 5 Grammy Awards: Album of the Year, Best New Artist, Best Pop Vocal Performance Female, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year.
That's awesome.
In 1984.
That's awesome. She's so unusual.
Well, didn't we do Best Albums of 1984 or something
We
like that?
might have.
I think we
mentioned it.
about
Yeah, and I think we mentioned her. Yeah.
We may have mentioned that.
Yeah.
No, Beatles, you only get
We
one.
rarely
No.
mention her, though.
I know. We don't mention her enough.
And Gene Simmons, this is funny. Gene, I love Gene.
Who doesn't?
On this day in 2005, a woman was suing Gene Simmons from Kiss. You don't know Gene Simmons.
If you
Not
don't-
the actress Gene Simmons,
Right?
Spelled differently, by the way.
Yeah.
For slander alleging a documentary made her out to be a sex-addicted nymphomaniac. Georgianne Walsh Ward, 53,
Oh, she is.
of
She
New
totally
York,
is.
said a VH1 documentary, her photo was flashed up as Simmons talked about his past sexual encounters. Ms. Walsh Ward had dated Simmons for 3 years when he was a student. In the documentary, Simmons boasted of having sex with over 4,600
So
women.
what's false?
Yeah.
Truth hurts, doesn't
Well, they
it?
had according to her, they had a relationship, and she wasn't just some floozy that he fucking bent over to sink and smashed her face in the mirror.
Well, that's what he calls his relationships. Ask Shannon Tweed.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Hey,
Let's be
Hal,
real.
You need that's the clip you need to pull out for the audiogram. When I said bend her over the sink and smash her face in the mirror. That's it. That's it.
That's it
That's
right
radio
there.
gold right there.
That's something.
It's radio fired.
Yeah, radio fire.
See, when you work for yourself, you can never get fired. That's the greatest thing.
That's right.
This was on this day in 2016. Sadly, we lost David Bowie.
Oh, wow.
And if you don't know who he is,
Then get off the podcast.
Out of here.
Get off the show.
Man.
oh my goodness. Anyway, so I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
It seems like the Montreux Jazz Festival comes up.
Almost every time. Too.
Like, because for somehow there's been like several podcasts where like that thing with the fire and Deep Purple, like that has come up. Like I don't know why. So there's no reason to repeat that. A happy birthday to Jerry Wex. Jerry Wexley's a Jewish boy from Queens.
Yowza.
He is, and this
Sure.
is so funny. There's a documentary about Muscle Shoals, and Wexler, that's what he is. He's this nice Jewish boy from New York, and like was producing records in the nice studios and all that. And then he got a call to go to Muscle Shoals, and he was
Right.
like, "What the fuck? What kind of hillbilly Betty
Bullshit.
White, Betty Crocker motherfucker bullshit?" I'm stepping in fucking mud and there's fucking bugs and what the fuck? Damn, we're eating grits like what?
Grits. I tell you.
But when he heard and he really wanted to bring New York session guys down. He did not want the Swampers to play.
Right.
But when he heard them play,
He's like, yeah.
yeah, and like so immediately he's like, we got to get like Aretha Franklin, like so like true visionary. I just wanted this because I think a lot of people don't realize who Jerry Wexler is. Very amazing man. Brought the world a lot of great music, even though he wasn't a musician per se himself.
Yes.
Okay, Ronnie Hawkins. I don't know if you know who he is, Canadian singer. He started the band.
Oh, okay.
They backed him up for a number of years, and before they went on to do Bob Dylan and all kind of stuff like that.
Which band?
The band.
The band.
Which band?
No, but which band?
The band.
And Led Zeppelin's on first.
Right?
Come on, Lou, get with it. That's funny.
Ha ha ha.
Boy, okay. Oh, here's somebody okay. Whew, I had to scroll down a bit. I was getting a little nervous. Like I don't know any
Ain't
of these
nobody
fucking
born
people.
today.
Jim Croce or Jim
Yes.
Croce, as depending on how you pronounce it, U.S. singer who had a 1973 U.S. #1 single with "A Time in a Bottle" was killed in a plane crash
is that
on the way to
today?
the airport on September 20th. No, this was his birthday.
Oh, his
Jim
birthday,
Croce
okay.
had many songs.
I
I don't know
love
why
that
they mentioned
guy.
that stupid song. Bad Leroy Brown, the
Sure.
baddest man in the whole dang town.
Sure.
Badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard.
That is
Oh,
true.
boy.
That is true, sir.
I loves me some Leroy Brown.
Excuse me?
I loves me some Leroy Brown.
Well, that's the first step is to come out of the closet. Admit.
Well, speaking of people that walk on both sides of the street, as they
Sure.
say, Rod Stewart was born this day.
Now, how do you know he walks on both sides of the street? Come on now. Let me ask you something. Do you think he's sexy?
Ainsley Dunbar was born this day in 1946.
Who?
Ainsley Dunbar.
Who's that?
Drummer with Whitesnake. Maybe you've heard of him. Played with Journey. Played with a lot of people. He's one of those drummers that like played with a lot of those.
That
like,
you probably don't know the name. But
British heavy rock bands. But yeah. He toured with Ozzy and all kind of stuff. Donald Fagen
sure.
from the Dan of Steel, as they
Yes.
as the Pittsburgh DJs refer to them.
Sure,
was
the
born
Dan
to
of
stay in
Steel.
1948. The Queen, Pat freaking Benatar. Love is a
It's her
Battlefield.
birthday.
Hit me with your best shot.
It is her birthday.
All these amazing songs. Heartbreaker, born to stay in 1953. God bless you, Pat.
Wow.
Lucy Martin, lead vocalist or one of the vocalists in the band Chic.
Les Freak.
Les Freak
freak
was born
out.
to stay in- Dude, another great one.
Tell me.
Michael
gee.
Schenker, German
No
rock guitarist,
way.
nicknamed Blonde Bomber. He first rose to fame as an early member of the Scorps.
Yes, that's
as they
right.
say in Pittsburgh.
I remember them. Yeah.
Then achieved fame in the mid-'70s as a lead guitar player for UFO. Since leaving UFO in 78, he has been leading the Michael Schenker Group.
All right.
Do you guys know the singer, songwriter, acoustic guitar vocalist Sean Colvin?
I was obsessed for a minute, yes.
She does a great version of Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that.
Was born in, say, 1958. These
Yes.
guys are kind of a one, maybe two-hit wonder.
Okay.
Crash Test Dummies. Brad Roberts.
Oh,
Was
sure.
born this day in 1964.
Yes.
The song. Yeah, the title of the song in the CD is like it's like a joke. Will DJs say that?
I would.
Oh my God! Oh, Matt Roberts, guitarist with the band Three Doors Down, was born to say Chris Smith, Chris Cross
Any more
Make
quizzes?
you jump.
did the song Jump.
Jump.
Born
Jump.
to say in '79. Not to be confused with the Van Halen.
No,
Somebody
no,
needs to
that's
do a mashup with Chris Cross and Van Halen. That would be awesome.
There you go.
If
I
you
bet
could get
somebody
that
has.
What was that?
I bet somebody has.
Yeah, we gotta
you
look
gotta
that up.
look
We gotta
for
look
that.
that up. Oh my God, we whittled away an hour and 5 minutes just jerking off.
Woof.
This was the most I've come all week.
Yikes, sir.
I'm sorry for you.
Wow.
Hey, Hal, maybe
Would
that's
you like
the
a
one you wanna
tissue?
put up.
Here's a tissue for you. Here's 2 tissues. I'm just saying.
I got 2 tissues to paradise.
God.
There's a T-shirt.
Hey, Lou,
What, Chris? What's up, buddy?
since we're doing birthdays, do a shout out to my brother, Bill Dodson.
Oh,
Hey.
happy birthday, Bill
Happy
Dodson.
birthday, Bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, guys. So thanks so much for hanging out. Chris, one more time. How do folks get a hold of you if they want some really cool refinishes done on their musical instruments?
Go to Wolf's Customs on Facebook or my personal page, Chris Thunderwolf Dodson. Send me a PM, text me, and we'll get right with you.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Awesome.
Okay, and so that's. I can't think of anything else. I do have a. Oh, there is a Supervana show at the Hard Rock Cafe, on January 28th. Coming up soon, and the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus will be representing on I believe it is February 4th, 2nd, Anna Popovic comes to Pittsburgh.
Second.
Yep.
So we're all going. We're going as a podcast.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some fun and do some. We'll get on our
Podcast
Crazy
things.
stuff.
cell phone.
Crazy stuff.
Screw around a bit. Lily V6. We do have Lily V6 with us as always, and Lily is on loan to us from Rock Rage Radio.
Thank you, Rock Rage.
Feel so
we do
dirty.
appreciate
Thanks. Thanks for
Rock
giving
Rage
us her.
for loaning out Lily V6 to give this podcast some semblance of class.
That's cute.
Classy chick.
Very cute. But check out my show, Hot Licks with Lily, 6 Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, I am an announcer for the 5th Annual Banger Music Awards on January 15th. Shut up. It's independent music. It's nothing else, weirdos. So if you watch online,
How old are we?
freaks.
The Banger Awards.
Banger
That's
Awards.
awesome.
So watch it on
Bang
Facebook.
of the year. Yeah.
You wish. It's music related, jerks.
Oh, Lord.
And Mr. Pittsburgh.
Hey, anybody needs their sidewalk shoveled, let me know. I'll come in and shovel your sidewalks. Please.
Hey, babe, can I shovel your sidewalk?
I'll be back to shovel your sidewalk later.
Wow.
All right, right, guys. Find Chris Thunderwolf Dodson on Facebook, Wolf's Customs, and they do great work. RockRageRadio.com, love you. Go to LoudiniRockAndRollCircus.com. And the reason why I do that, because you can find out all kind of cool information and fun stuff about the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Bios are there. Our YouTube archive is there. Links to all kind of past things and are all there. Including merchandise and stuff like that. LouLombardiMusic.com to get involved in our private Facebook group and to get more information and exclusive music that I'm putting out as well. All right, guys. Super fun podcast this week. I think we had a really good time.
Yeah.
Next week, let me see if I can find next week we have a good one for you. So I'm trying to get in 2022. I'm trying to be like a little bit more organized. We'll see if this lasts more than a couple weeks. But for next week's podcast, we're going to talk about top rock performances in non-music based movies. Like think Marty McFly doing Johnny Be Good in Back to the Future. It's not a music movie, but there just happens to be like all of a sudden there's this cool rock performance. Yes. And it can be by the actor or there could be a band that, real rock band shows up and plays or whatever, something like that. So we're going to do our favorites on that for next week. All right, guys. Had a great time. Chris, thank you so much for...
Thanks, Chris.
Hey, PK.
Yes.
DM me and I'll send you some Hollow Flash pics. I didn't realize you were a guitar player till tonight.
Surprise!
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Chris, you want a lollipop?
No.
You knew it was coming. I had to do it.
All right, guys, let's get the hell out of here. Have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Have a good one, guys.
I'm paid.
Go pee first. Wait, are we still?
Love's a mask, my scalpel was sharp. I was up for the task. In your bed I saw you cold and blue. Then I said, she dead. My baby I'm blue. All you needed was a shot of that juice. A little bit of salt. Shots on your loose. Oh, I bring the medicine. I'm the man with the medicine. Call me up, I bring the medicine. I'm the man with the medicine.
All right.
All right. Is Chris still there?
Chris, you still there, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so I have a question for you. All right, so
Sure.
you refinish guitars?
Yes, sir.
All right, so here's my thing. I have what I call a Framptonstein, and it's an Epiphone Black Beauty that I've converted into what looks like Peter Frampton's guitar from Frampton Comes Alive, right? So I had this vision of doing like a negative or a reverse version of having a white custom with triple pickups and just doing everything reverse. Like the pickup rings would be black instead of cream. But guess what? Neither Gibson nor Epiphone ever made a white custom. So
Right.
Sick, dude.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. So if I find myself a Black Beauty, I deal with Epiphone now because I'm poor.
Black Beauty.
Yeah, but hey man,
Hey, Lily, we're doing Black Beauties
no, we're
in
not
here.
doing Black Beauties. She'll be right here. Oh, good. But like if I were to find an old an Epiphone triple pickup custom and send it to you, you could redo it white.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would hate to.
No. It's for a good cause.
It's an Epiphone.
Yeah, it's an Epiphone. I wouldn't do that to a Gibson.
Yeah, it's not a
I've
Gibson.
ruined
I
enough
had them
Gibsons.
myself and I had to sell it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. It's just something maybe.
It would be one of a kind.
Yeah, it would. But
Yeah.
okay, cool, very good.
We could, however you wanted, to even make it more just different than taking it from black to white, sprucing it up even more.
Oh,
We
put a
can work
naked
on that
lady on it. Put a naked lady right in the front there.
Fucking wood burn the naked lady on there.
All right. Well, that's something to think
No,
for me to
put a
think
giant
about.
Star Trek logo on it,
Shut.
please.
No. Lily.
He would get off more on that than the
No,
naked lady.
Lily. You know I'm in the Star Wars
Whatever.
camp.
You're all nerds. It doesn't
Put an
matter.
X-wing. You're gonna put an X-wing on it. No, the Falcon.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
Millennium
Oh,
Falcon.
the
Please.
Falcon.
You should do the whole thing like you should. Whoa, I got it.
Go ahead, Lou.
You paint the whole thing
Yeah.
like it is the Millennium Falcon, like because the Falcon has that like little
Right.
side thing,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
where they
There's a
sit.
guitar like that already.
That could
but
be
anyway.
that could be the horn.
No,
the
but
cutaway.
not a Les Paul. There is a Millennium Falcon guitar.
Oh, no, I've
but
seen
you
it,
can
yeah.
turn if you did it on a
It's
Les
the
Paul.
Rebel bass.
I'm out
Where are you going?
to smoke.
All right, I gotta go
Crap.
smoke with Lily.
Hey, Chris, we're gonna take off. You have a good one, brother.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care, my man.
Bye,
See you. Thank
Chris.
you, buddy. Bye bye.
See ya, bye.